Welcome to A Life in Chapters, a podcast about books, journaling, and building a creative life that feels like home. I'm Alison Wood, and this is where we explore the quiet, meaningful moments that make up a well-written life, one chapter at a time. This is episode 20, The Joy of Book Clubs, Why Reading Together Matters. For as long as I can remember, books have been my constant companions. There's something magical about the way a story can pull you in, into another world, another voice, another life. Reading can be deeply private. It's you, the page, and your imagination doing the quiet work of building a whole landscape in your mind. And sometimes that solitude is exactly what we need. But there's another side to reading, one that isn't solitary at all. And that's what I want to talk about today, the joy of book clubs and why reading together matters. I didn't always think of myself as a book club person. For me, reading was something I did on my own, curled up on the sofa, tucked away in a corner, or sitting outside in the sunshine. But then I realized some of the richest reading I've ever done was when I wasn't reading alone at all. Back in my school and college days, one of the main subjects I studied was English Lit. Those years were full of the shared experience of reading, whole groups of us poring over the same text, dissecting it, debating it, laughing about it. There was such joy in realizing that even though we were all holding the same book, we were never quite reading the same story. Each of us noticed something different, and when we came together, those pieces built a richer, fuller picture. Book clubs take me right back to that feeling, the thrill of discovering a new layer in a book because someone else saw it differently. The delight of finding out that a line you skimmed over was to someone else the heart of the whole story. It's like turning a kaleidoscope, the same pieces but arranged into a new pattern. And that's the gift of reading together. It takes a private joy and turns it into a shared discovery. There are so many reasons book clubs endure across generations and cultures. Let me share just a few of these. First, connection. A book club isn't just about the book, it's about people. It brings us together in a world that can feel fragmented and isolating. Stories become the bridge, the excuse, the gathering point. Perspective. We all read differently. Our backgrounds, experiences, and even moods shape what we notice in a book. In a club, those perspectives come together, and suddenly the book feels bigger. You see more, feel more, and understand more because someone else noticed something that you didn't. Accountability. Left to ourselves, many of us collect books we mean to read, and then they sit patiently waiting. A book club gives you a gentle nudge. It's not pressure, but it's a rhythm. The book moves from someday to this month. Joy. This might be the most important one. Reading can be fun, of course, but sharing that experience multiplies the joy. Laughing together at a witty line, debating over a character you loved and someone else found infuriating. Celebrating the simple act of finishing a book and moving on to the next adventure. It turns reading into not just a solitary act, but a communal ritual. Now, book clubs have been around for centuries. Think of literary salons, library groups, Oprah's book club, and now the explosion of online spaces where people gather around books, whether that's on Zoom, in Facebook groups, or on TikTok. And there's a reason they keep coming back. Humans are wired for story. We've always gathered to tell them, to listen to them, to argue about them, to pass them down. A book club is just a modern form of that ancient impulse. It's a way of saying, let's not just consume stories alone, let's share them, shape them, and carry them together. One of the things I love about book clubs is that they rarely stay just about the book. A discussion about a character's choices can turn into a conversation about our own. A theme in a novel can spark someone's memory or help them make sense of something they're going through. Sometimes a book club meeting becomes as much about life as it is about literature. And that's the magic. Because books don't just entertain us, they mirror us. And when we gather to talk about them, we end up seeing not just the story on the page, but the story we're living. This month in my own Patreon book club, we're reading How to Solve Your Own Murder by Kristen Perrin. I won't spoil anything, but what I love about mysteries in a book club setting is the way they invite speculation. You're not just reading passively, you're guessing, predicting, theorizing, and when you bring that to a group, it becomes almost like a game. Who spotted the clue? Who guessed right? Who completely misread a character and then laughed at themselves later? It's fun, it's interactive, and it makes the reading experience come alive in a new way. Even if you're not in a book club right now, I'd love to leave you with a few gentle journaling prompts to explore this idea of reading in community. First, when has someone else's perspective changed the way I saw a story? It could be a book, a film, even a personal story. Notice how another voice added a layer you hadn't considered. Second, what book do I most wish I could discuss with others? Maybe it's one you loved so much you want to share it, or one that puzzled you, or even one you disliked but can't stop thinking about. And three, how might sharing stories bring me closer to others in my life? This isn't just about joining a formal book club. It could be swapping books with a friend, reading alongside a partner, or even joining an online space where you feel at home. Take these prompts as invitations. You don't have to answer them all at once or at all. Just carry them with you and see what rises to the surface. If this conversation about book clubs has sparked something in you, you're warmly invited to join mine. Each month inside Patreon, I share a clarity audio, a longer journaling session with prompts and reflections, and we also gather around a shared book. As I said, this month it's How to Solve Your Own Murder, which has been such a fun, twisty read so far. But you don't have to keep up with us perfectly. There's no pressure, no deadlines. It's about connection, not homework. You can join us anytime at alifeinchapters.com/Patreon. Whether you come for the journaling, the book club, or both, it's a warm, welcoming space, and I'd love to see you there. Thank you so much for listening to A Life in Chapters. You can always find full show notes, links, and transcripts at alifeinchapters.com/podcast. Wherever you are and whatever you're reading, I hope you feel the joy of connection through stories, through words, through community. And I'll see you again soon.